Hey girl, welcome to the Feminine Founder Podcast, where we are all about learning and growing professionally so that we can build a life that we are proud of and really love. My name is Caroline, and I'm a social media marketing expert, obsessed with teaching female entrepreneurs how to start, grow, and scale their personal brand and business online. This podcast is all about sharing our stories and learning from each other on how to navigate our professional journey so that we can live our best lives. So if you're just starting your entrepreneurial journey, or if you are growing and scaling an epic company, you are in the right place, friend. Today, I have Amanda Hofman with me. Amanda is the CEO and co-founder of Go-to-Market. It's a woman-owned business looking to revolutionize the way the world handles swags. She's a chief swag officer. She's a New York City marathoner turned cyclist, and you guys are in for a real treat in this conversation, so buckle up. Welcome, Amanda.
I am so happy to be here with you.
So tell me, you're the co-founder, CEO, and chief swag officer of Go-to-Market. You've been in business for over 5 years now. Tell me your story, where you are now, and how did you get here?
Yeah, so this is not my first company. I used to run an events group for women in New York City called Urban Girl Squad, and it was the light of my life. It was my first child before I had human children. And it was the proving point to prove to myself that like I can run a business, I can be an entrepreneur, and this is the right path for me. Like this risk profile suits my personality. I like taking ownership. I particularly like taking ownership in the sense that like when something works, it's because I did it. And when something doesn't work, it's because I messed it up. Like there's no ambiguity. You can't blame Pete in tech or like Mary in HR. Like it's just all on you. It just really suits my personality to do that. So I ran that company for about 6 years, and I sold it just before my second child was born. And then I was home with my kids for about 6 years. And when I was looking to start a new company, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. And I floundered quite a bit. I started a company, I stopped it. I wondered if my first success was a one-off. I wondered if I'd ever have a career again, all the normal, kind of dowdy things that we do. And then when I learned about print-on-demand technology, like a huge light bulb went off for me. And I realized that I could solve, I was in a unique position with my skills and my interests to solve this problem that I had faced in my first business, which is that I wanted to have swag, but the process of getting it was like a freaking nightmare. And so I never did it. And I was like, wait, there's print-on-demand technology. Why is not every company doing this? It really didn't add up to me. And there are a few roadblocks here and there. I'm like, I can remove those roadblocks. So I started this company with the designer from my first company, Jessie. We already knew that we worked well together, and I am not an artist. And so we come together as the creative engine behind Go-to-Market, where we create creative, sustainable print-on-demand merchandise for brands and businesses.
Okay, let me back up a minute. I love the part that you said that you can't blame Keith in tech or Mary Sue, whatever her name is in HR, because I'm literally the exact same way, which is why I'm an entrepreneur as well. But I love that you said that, and that's probably that comes across, I think, really amazing stuff. Okay, you're two-part founders. So what's worked for you in it? When we're talking about growth, like in the first company, in the events company, I know it's totally separate industries, but the concepts and the business development is the same.
Yeah.
What worked? What didn't work?
I mean, the bottom line of what always works is hustle. It's just hard work. And I know that it's not a sexy answer. It's kind of a boring answer. It's yeah, we know that, but really that's what it is. And when I was doing my first company, I had a lot of women come to me being like, how do I start an events company? How do I have the success that you have? How did you build this list? And I was like, I sweat over every day. I just every day I was out on the street. I was talking to people. I was leveraging my personal skill set. I was outsourcing things that were not in my skill set. But it's just, you just need to walk through the war zone of figuring it out. And I think this is what I was saying earlier with your losses are your own. Like you need to, if you want to take the path of entrepreneurship, you have to be willing to walk through the things that are hard for you and look at them. And if that's not interesting to you, then it's probably not the path for you. And I also don't mean to like glorify entrepreneurship. I don't think it's right for everyone. I don't think it's objectively better than working in corporate. It's just different. And if your personality is suited to that, if it sounds exciting to you, then like you got to be willing to do the work. So like for me, hustle always, like going out there, talking to as many people as you can, getting feedback, hearing hard feedback, adapting, like keep showing up even when it's hard. Like that's it.
I love that you said that, because I spoke to a group recently about podcasting and my journey and how to start, grow, and scale it. And I told them like the raw, dirty truths. Like, you're going to get people, your uncle or, Sam down the street saying, how's your little podcast going in the very beginning? But then flash forward a year, 2 years, 3 years later, and they're like, holy crap, how did you do that? And it was hustle.
Exactly. They're That's like, it. Oh yeah, you just like somehow found success. You're like, no, every single day I showed up to do this and I got incrementally better every single day until I ended up here, and you just weren't watching every day.
So tell me about your biggest mistake.
In business?
Yeah, in business.
One error I make a lot is I confuse wanting to like people. Like I can, my optimism and like desire to like someone can like gloss over warning signs and can gloss over the reality of the situation sometimes. So there have been situations that I've ended up in with like bad clients or people I've hired because I liked them, but like not because they could actually do the work. And, we're talking about doing the hard work. I think for me, I have to learn how to be a little bit more objective and realistic so that I can like see the warning signs and pay attention to them so that I don't end up in these bad situations. I mean, they happen less and less, but then when they do come up again, like for example, I worked for this guy early on in go-to-market when I was trying to learn about the bulk side of things as well. And he was creepy from day one. I mean, day one, there were like so many red flags. He was telling me about like how hot his girlfriend was. I'm like, that doesn't need to be a part of this conversation. And then like all kinds of weird, creepy stuff kept happening until at the end, I take off the time between when my kids' camp ends and when school starts because, what am I going to do? Like, I mean, I guess I could get childcare, but, that's like a time that I can spend time with my kids. Like, I told him, I'm like, I'm not going to be working during that time. And when I came back, he was like, how was your vacation? I'm like, dude. But like the signs were there all along so I just ignored them. So I think that's a mistake that I've made many times that I will probably make again, but I'm trying to do less.
I think we all are guilty of that, and we all make mistakes, right? It's just like how much time are we going to waste and how much money is it going to cost? So
like how quickly can we be like, oh, I did it again, and then just back out without, apologizing.
I had a similar situation happen recently. And I just told the guy no. I was like, the red flags, I smelled it. The phone call was weird. The follow-up email treated me like I was the help. And I was like, this is a hell no for me.
That's right. I haven't made that specific mistake again. Like if I get weird vibes from a dude who seems to be like talking down to me as a mother, as a woman, and I'm immediately like, yeah, I don't need you. Like this is not... No, thanks.
I don't want your money. Thank you.
Yeah. Like I'm A-okay. And I am not going to subject myself to this. Like, and that's the lovely thing about being an entrepreneur, right? Like we can say no.
I love that. Yeah. And I say no plenty too. So I hear you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So let's switch gears here. I want to talk to you about swag because I love all the swag stuff that you do. I see you on LinkedIn. All your stuff is like so fun, so progressive, so all the things. So why does every brand or business owner need swag?
Well, there are so many ways to answer that. Let me start by saying that most brands are already doing some kind of merch or swag. So let's start there. Law firms, car companies, financial planners, communities, consultants, skincare brands, like they're all printing stuff anyway. So if you look at the way that companies are printing things, they're doing it inefficiently, they're doing it in bulk, they're ordering, like they're trying to get something to everyone. And in doing so, like the budget gets smaller and smaller and smaller per person because they're like, well, we should send it to these thousands of people and these thousands of people, or I have to go to a trade show. I have to give something to everybody who's there. And that's how you end up with junk. That's how you end up with a stress ball, because you're like, well, the budget per person is like $1.53. Well, guess what you can get for $1.53? It's nothing good. So I think that companies can do swag so much better if they start to think of it as a sales and marketing tool and not a quote like promo item. Like we're not spraying flyers across a room or across a city. We're not like stapling Dan can teach you to play guitar like all over the city. Actually, you're not in New York. I don't know if you get that reference. Does that make sense?
No, but tell me more.
I think all New Yorkers know this. Dan teaches you to play guitar is like a flyer that's like literally everywhere for like 15 years. Anyway, you can cut that out if it's like absolutely irrelevant to your audience. But you don't want to take the flyer approach to your branded merchandise. It means that you're printing like really inexpensive, junky garbage. When you create higher quality swag, and you might be thinking to yourself, well, I can't afford higher quality swag. And it's like, you absolutely can if you print less of it, right? Like if you tier your swag so that it's like, just for giveaways or just for your most loyal customers or just for your C-level people, or like find a way for people to opt in, or even if you just make it available for purchase and give everyone a discount, give everyone a credit towards it, there's beauty in letting people choose what they get, right? When people choose what they get, they're much more likely to keep it, wear it, and use it. And that's the role of good branded merchandise and swag. It should be a relationship builder. If it's not building a relationship, don't print it.
Okay, so you and I first met because I was going to do a live event here in South Carolina, and I wanted to have merch there for the attendees, for the sponsors, all the things. And I think one thing that you and I talked about in the beginning that I really loved with your process and your company is a lot of times when you think about ordering merch, you think about, okay, I got to order 1,000 units, or I got to have the minimum order quantities. And then I got to have it delivered to my house. And then I got to put the goodie bags together. And then I got to take the goodie bags to the event. And that's a lot of manual labor, right? And so tell me about, you don't have to, share any secrets or IP or anything like that about your processes. But when we talked, you like a light bulb went off with me. I was like, wow, there's actually an easier way to do this where I don't have to spend a ton of money and do a ton of manual labor.
Yes. I think people really underestimate the amount of manual labor involved in ordering swag. It's one of these things that you're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. And the time involved, they're like, yeah, I'll just ship it out to these people. Like I have their address. How long could it take? And it's like a long time. The answer is a long time. Even if you're doing it while you're watching Gilmore Girls, like it's still time that you don't need to be spending at all. And when you think about the fact that the process can be so much more efficient and people are going to have a better experience in the end, it's like it becomes a no-brainer, right? So what we suggest for events is, rather than saying like everyone gets a hat, everyone gets a bag, everyone gets a journal, whatever it is, you create a print, you can also create, but my company creates print-on-demand storefronts for your brand and business, which effectively act as gifting platforms. And what it means is that you're giving everyone, here's $20, here's $30, just a gift card to your store. And you say, pick what you want. And then they go on ahead of time, they order it, it ships directly to them. You're not involved in the process. The order goes directly to the printer. It gets sent directly to the person who wants it. And they don't need to discuss with you like, oh, I like my t-shirts in this shape, or I'm a this size, or do you have like a 2XL, or I really prefer this in green, or like, I don't like this design. All of that goes away. They choose what they want. And one of the most exciting parts about this is that if people don't want your merch, they can opt out. which is better for you and better for them. Because if they don't want it, no cool thing is going to change their mind, right? You're just wasting your time and money, and you're giving them a burden because then they have to get rid of it. So it's a true win-win to do it this way.
So I love how you incorporate humor and sass, and you are brilliant with your catchy, I'm just going to say catchy sayings or kind of like one-off things that go with each industry and every, like where that to me is memorable as someone who has swag all around my house or whatever, like whether I'm not going to use it or not. That what you do there is so brilliant. So where did that come from?
I mean, that's the most fun part of this, right? And I think that's where my personal passion comes in, because looking back, I never sought out to be like, oh, I'm going to work in merch one day. It was like, that didn't happen. It was more like I had this business. I saw the problem in getting swag. And then I learned about print on demand, and I'm like, I can fill this need. But when I look back, like I've never left a gift shop without buying the thing. Like I'm always buying that. Like that was when I was a little kid, my mom always looked for the thing that said Amanda. Like I had an Amanda license plate from California. I had like the ride that says my name on it. Like I had all that stuff and I loved it. And so I've always been paying attention, I think, to what makes something clever, cute, interesting, fun. And so now in my role here, what I do is think about what is interesting about your business. What is different, interesting, valuable, and fun? What is the vibe of your company? Why are people drawn to you? It's not the name of your business. It's not your logo. It's something else. So we put our creative minds, me and my team, on what is something really cool, trendy, interesting, fun, and vibey about your business that we can put on your branded merchandise that also incorporates your logo, but isn't just your logo. So for example, I'm wearing this cute, I think it's really cute shirt that says merch is fun. And it's like, it's just 3 words, but it very much encapsulates how I think companies should think about branded merchandise and swag. It's not an obligation. It's a fun, joyful tool that you can use to build your business.
Plus, I'm going to add to that. People would like to wear fun stuff or catchy stuff. They don't want to just wear your company logo. That's boring.
They really don't, unless you're Nike or Peloton. There are exceptions, or Tiffany, but like you can think of them because they're exceptions, right? Like I just think there's so much more to your business than the name of your business. And like, there's a lot of opportunity there for the branded merchandise and swag.
All right. If I had to choose one piece of swag, what is the best piece of swag that converts? So that I know that everyone has their different personal preferences and everything, but like, what is your favorite piece of swag?
Oh, that's hard. That's choosing between my children. I kind of want to give you a non-answer, but I'll give you a real answer. I'm going to give you my non-answer first, though, which is that the best swag is the swag that somebody chooses, right? So like, I love one type of thing, you love a different type of thing, we each get what we want. That's my non-answer. My real answer is I love a tank top. I do. I'm wearing a t-shirt now, but I count this as a tank top because it's off the shoulder. I love something that's like athleisure that I can wear, when I'm walking around, that's like versatile, that I can sweat in, that like looks cute on a call, that, works.
Okay, I'm with you. I literally got the gift certificate to order from the digital store. Nice. And I chose the tank top.
Sweet. Love it.
So we're on the same page there. Okay, so what is lighting you up with some of the clients that you're working with right now?
I love the creativity that comes along with thinking about brands. And I particularly like, so my business partner, Jessie, she's an artist and a designer, and she is so talented and she draws a lot from scratch. And I just love when she like will draw a character for a client, or like she can really make an idea come to life in this way that like you couldn't have imagined otherwise. So like we have a client right now who's obsessed with buffaloes, and like Jessie drew these like incredible buffaloes for him. And some are funny and some are beautiful, but we have another client who's a financial planner for rural farmers, and Jessie drew her cow, like not any cow, like her cow with like that cow's markings. And it's like, it's so special. It's so personal. It's so thoughtful. I just love seeing that come to life.
How can our listeners find you?
I'm most active on LinkedIn. You could find me there as Amanda Hofman. Just note there's one F in Hofman, something I need to say my entire married life. Or you can find us on at go-to-market.studio online or go-to-market studio on Instagram.
Thanks, Amanda.
Sure, anytime.